So we're gonna finish up on page 265 today. So I'm on number 19 right now.
Wait, what is it?
And I will remind you, let's get the worksheet done by tomorrow too. If you have any questions that you can ask today. I only got like 6 questions today. They're kind of they're biggies though.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm just
Okay, we're finishing Tuesdays. Remember
Yeah.
this thing?
Yeah. The one with synthetic division and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. And we left off on 19.
What?
I'm just writing 19 down.
Right, okay.
Okay. We're supposed to factor this thing. We're going to factor it by finding the possible zeros of the function, like what values make this function equal to 0. Like, let's say one of the answers was like 3. If 3, or negative 2. If 3 was a answer, I know that x minus 3 would have to be a factor.
Mm-hmm.
Or if negative 2 was an answer, I know that x plus 2 would be a factor. You guys might recall on Tuesday I said if it's a cubic function, it should typically have 3 answers. So anyway, once we find the 3 answers, we know what the 3 factors are. And our answer is going to look something like this, whatever the other one is. Anyway. Where's my other marker? Don't know. Okay.
Joseph, put it right beside you. On you. Back in. Wasn't it?
Joseph is
Joseph
he's a specimen.
Okay. Do you guys remember how we found the possible?
I can't get anything done today.
No, it's just like running in the woods. Welcome back. You missed a lot of fun.
You take you take the last coefficient and the first coefficient,
Yeah.
right?
Close. You take the
The factors
Factors.
of each, yeah.
yeah. You do the factors of 27 over the factors of 1. The last coefficient and the first coefficient. What goes into 27?
9, 3, 1, 27.
Not 1, 27, 9, 23.
Oh,
What are the
plus
factors?
and minus.
Yeah, they're all plus or minus. What are the factors of 1? So it's 1 over 1, 3 over 1, 9 over 1, 27 over 1. So in other words, it's 1, 3, 9, 27, but they can all be positive or negative. I doubt it's 27. I would definitely start with the small numbers and check them first.
What are you looking at?
Okay, how can I see if like 1, how do I know if 1 works or not?
You
Plug it in. Okay, there's also a way to plug it in called synthetic substitution, which is like synthetic division, which is helpful because whatever answer we get, we need to kind of divide it out so we can find the remaining 2 answers in that leftover. That last sentence I just said is what makes this lesson complicated. It's kind of like 10 steps. Put them all together. Okay, anyway, I'm going to kind of plug it in up here first and see if it works. This would be, if I plug in 1, this would be 1 plus 9 plus 27 plus 27. That's definitely not 0. I did copy that down, right? Yes, I did. Okay, so I know 1 is not going to work, so I'm not going to do this. Negative 1 might work, though. It's a little harder to plug negative 1 in off the top of my head, so I am going to use synthetic substitution and check it out. Okay. What we want is for this to equal 0. If it equals 0, then negative 1 is a 0 of the function and x plus 1 is a factor. add down, multiply up. Add down, multiply up. Add down, multiply up. Well, it didn't work. All right. Okay, -1 is not a root, not an answer. Unfortunately. Okay, what do we want to try next?
3.
Well, yeah, I would definitely go small to big because it's harder to do larger numbers. So let's plug in 3, and then we'll try -3 if that doesn't work. Okay, add down, multiply up, add down, multiply up, add down. Okay, I can already tell this is not going to work because I'm getting everything's positive, so you can't get smaller if everything's positive. Anyway, it's not 0.
Can it not be a positive at all?
Well, if like some of these were negatives up here, like that could cancel out.
But since it's all positive, could we rule out the positive ones?
Well, if everything up here is positive and you're plugging a positive in, yeah, there's no way you're going to get a 0.
So and the rest of them would be -9, -27.
Yeah, so really the only options are negative. But
That's the only
I
way
think
it's-
this one's going to work, so it doesn't matter. So add down is 1, multiply it up, add down, multiply it up, add down, what's positive? Add down, multiply up, add down. Okay, we got 0 to come out, which is what we wanted. That means -3 is an answer. Do you guys remember? Probably not. On Tuesday, how did I find my remaining 2 answers? I could repeat this process and like plug in. Actually, I did not mention. Hold on. No, I did not mention this on Tuesday, but it is possible for -3 to be an answer more than once. It's called a double root, or it could be a triple root. It could be an answer 3 times. So if I was doing it again, I might try plugging in -3 again for this thing.
So
Okay, you guys remember what this stands for right here?
1x². Yeah, and then something.
Okay, so basically what happens is I found one of the answers and I kind of took the answer out. It's kind of like I divided by x plus 3. And this leftover stuff contains my last 2 answers. I can just solve this to find my last 2 answers. And quadratic equations we can solve by factoring, or we can use quadratic formula. Does this factor?
Yeah.
What 2 things go into 9 that add up to 6? Positive 3 and positive 3. Yeah, it is. So what are the 2 answers here?
-3.
-3 and -3. Okay, that means, yes, this is a triple root. It's only one answer. So I said normally there's 3 answers. This actually has only one answer. It's called a triple root though, so it's just -3. But we weren't supposed to write -3 as a triple root. What we were supposed to write is the factors. If -3 is an answer, what are the factors?
X plus 3.
X plus 3, X plus 3, X plus 3. Like if you FOILed all this together, it should get that original thing. Do you guys know an easier way to write that answer?
X plus 3 cubed.
Actually, I didn't have that equal 0 part. Yeah. The easier version is, or if you look this up in the back, X plus 3 cubed.
The book is wrong. Figure it out.
You may be right. I may be crazy.
Oh, we're going with 24.
Oh, but it's just Alright. Dos más. Anybody interpret that?
Quesadilla is hot.
2 more.
Where's that?
Only thing David knows how to say is
Where's the library?
where's the library?
No, man, it's not in the video.
Hey, if you're ever lost, you need to find the
If
library.
he's ever in Mexico and needs the library, he's your go-to guy. he can ask somebody for you. All right. So on 21, what are my possible answers? It'll basically be factors of 20 over factors of 1. They were kind of nice to us on the odds and only put a 1 on the front. But on the evens, unfortunately, they're a little bit more mean.
That's AIDS.
Because on 22, it's going to be factors of 1 over factors of 8. So it'll be a lot of fractions.
Okay, so
Okay, what are the factors of 20?
4 and 5, 2 and 10, 1 and 20.
Yeah, that is all. 2 and 10, 4 and 5. That's lots of options. But remember, we only need to find one right answer before we can use the quadratic tricks. What should we plug in first? I would always say 1 is the right answer because 1 is definitely the easiest to plug in. If I plug in 1 right here, what do I get?
1.
21 times 1? 1 minus 21 is negative 20 plus 20,
0.
0. Here's the thing, so it worked, which is good.
Wait, so
I still need to like do synthetic
okay.
though to kind of divide my answer out so I can find the leftover answers. But I know this is going to work. 1 is going to work. What coefficients am I going to use on this?
1,
1, 0,
0, and negative 21.
Okay, why did they say 0?
Because
There's no x squared term.
Yeah, there's a 1 here. There is no x squared term between x cubed and x to the first. So the second coefficient is 0, then negative 21, then 20. So I'm going to add down, multiply up, add down, multiply up, add down, multiply up, add down. Multiplying by 1 is easier. Okay, 1 is an answer, but also this stands for x squared plus x minus 20. All of these should factor, by the way, on 17 through 24. If they didn't factor, like the last part, you'd have to use quadratic formula, but it looks like they all do. Okay, so the question is, what goes into negative 20 that could add up to 1? What multiplies into negative?
5, negative 4.
5 and negative 4. So actually, I kind of don't need to solve the rest of this because we're not writing the answers. We're not writing the zeros. We're writing the factors. So I can kind of just use those. Negative 5 and 4 are the answers, but I really need the factors. X plus 5, x minus 4. What's the other factor?
X plus 1. X plus 1.
X minus 1. X minus 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm better than you.
If 1 is an answer, then x minus 1 is a factor. Tomato. Let's call the whole thing. You guys referencing some YouTube joke? TikTok.
I could say that, I guess.
TikTok.
She's pretty YouTube famous.
Yeah. I mean,
30 subscribers.
no, 35 subscribers.
Hey,
36,
you
yeah.
guys are watching it, so
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
whatever you're making fun of is working. Okay.
I guess. Yeah. 20 sending some kind of message.
The joke has so many layers now. It's
She's the reason YouTube removed the dislike button.
is the reason YouTube added the option to disable comments. Ugh.
I made that, by the way. You guys can clap now. Thank you.
No, that's too much. That's too much.
He's getting a big head now.
Dave, are you
Okay.
YouTube famous?
What are my possible answers?
Factors of 60, factors of 1.
Factors of
that means
60. or
160,
factors of
230, 220.
Unfortunately, 60 has a bunch.
Yeah. 12, 5.
30.
Yeah. It's kind of a bunch, yeah.
I ran out of room still. 6 and 10.
Good lord. Alright, that's a bunch.
That's, holy crap, that's a lot.
I don't like them.
This isn't gonna take us a while, is it?
Yeah, it's gonna take
Okay.
forever.
Yeah. We got another problem besides that many options. The other problem is how many answers will I probably get? 4. And I can't, so to get it down to a quadratic equation, I've got to find 2 answers first before I can use my quadratic tricks. So, shall we start with 1?
I suppose so.
Okay, I kind of cheat when I do 1 because I know that just turns all these into a 1. So that would be 1 minus 4 is -3, minus 13, -16, plus 28 plus 60, that is definitely not. Okay, after I try 1, what should I try next, probably?
2.
-1.
-1.
There is a way you can do this a lot easier in the graph. Actually, there's 2 ways you can do this easier in the graphing calculator. On graphing calculators, you can plug this into the calculator, like the function, like in the y equals spot, and then just, never mind, you guys don't know what I'm talking about. Well, we did a little bit last week or something.
I did not realize this was clear to just now.
So you could graph that equation and it'd be ugly.
Okay, add down, multiply up, add down, multiply up. And I gotta go quickly because this is gonna take forever. Multiply up, add down. Okay, did not work. You guys don't have to write that down. Okay, we're gonna do a few of these.
I just noticed.
Okay, 1 and -1 where I failed. What should I try next?
-2. Yeah. 4, 3,
4.
8.
Did you say -2?
6.02 times 10 to the 23rd.
Okay, if I was doing this normally, I'd probably try 2 next. And then I would try -2, and then I'd try 3, and then -3, and then 4, and -4. I would just go smallest to biggest because, you know, those are easier. I chose -2 because I cheated and looked at the answer. So here we go. Add down. Multiply up. Add down. Multiply up. Add down. Multiply up. Add down. Multiply up. Add down. And the bad thing is, if you make one mistake on that little thing, then you're gonna think it wasn't an answer. So you gotta be careful. Did you do that?
Did the number 24, and I got a whole page worth of answers before I realized I was wrong.
Before you make, yeah. Okay, I'll give you a hint. The biggest number you should have to check is like 3. So if you get to 4 and you haven't found the answer yet, something's wrong. So go back and do your work. I wouldn't keep going on the list. You could keep going on the list, probably find something later down. There are bigger numbers than 4 for answers, but you should be able to find something before then. All right, okay, here's the problem. What I have right here is basically x cubed minus 6x squared minus x plus 30. It's still a cubic function. I still can't factor normally or use quadratic formula, so I need to find another answer that works. Okay, I could move on to 3 and -3, and actually one of those is going to work. But also, it's possible that -2 is a double root. So I should probably, and I already looked at the answer, so I know what it is. But
How dare you?
yeah, if I would have moved on and checked 3 or -3, I would have found another answer. But you might check an answer twice to make sure it's not a double or triple root. So I'm just recycling my leftovers from the last problem. And I'm trying -2 again to see if it's a double root. Okay, add down, multiply up, add down, multiply up, add down, multiply up. I probably shouldn't say that over and over again, like you guys don't get it yet, but it worked. It's a miracle. It's a Christmas miracle, Thanksgiving miracle. All right, x squared minus 8x plus 15. So I know that -2 is a double root, and my last two answers can be found in here. What goes into 15 that adds up to -8?
I'm -3.
You?
-5 and -3. Multiply to 15, add to -8. Okay,
Wait, and then x.
if
plus
-2 is a answer, what's my factors?
X plus 2.
Plus 2, but it was a double root, so I'm going to put
Plus 2.
2 of those squared. Um, 22 has a fraction for an answer. Don't let that freak you out. Same rules as the rest of them. Well, you guys remember how fractions work? If 2/3, actually I'm a little concerned on this one. If 2/3 is an answer, do you guys know what the factor is?
X minus, wait,
No, it'd be x3
Is it the-
minus 2.
It's 3x minus 2.
Yes.
Oh, it's 3.
oh.
Yeah, instead of 2, you put -2, but the 3 goes right there. So, yeah, that's trickier. I wish we would have had an odd like that. That would probably been helpful. All right. Here's what I'm going to say. The worksheet is due tomorrow.
Mhm.
So if you have questions, let's do that first. And then this thing, I maybe won't give you time tomorrow, maybe a little bit, but I'll say it's due on Monday. Because I know these last 4 are hard, so.
Monday.
Well, Monday after Monday. What are the odds we'll remember all this by Monday?
Not high.
Not great. But we will learn it again, and then after you've learned it 3 times, it might actually stick in your brain.